What's going on, guys? What's going on, Tesla? What's going on, everybody? So, Joe Flacco will start today's game against the Rams. We are going to see a Joku, Miles Garrett, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward all suit up for this game. And the big question is, how will Joe Flacco do this game? I think Joe Flacco this game will have a good game. Like, we're probably going to see Joe Flacco throw for a lot of yards. Throw for a lot of yards and have a good game. I think at the end, like, he's going to throw for I think at the end of this game, like, the Browns have a lot of decisions. You have to figure out who's going to be your quarterback. Who are you going to cut? Because you don't want to have another 3-14 season. That is what Browns fans like myself don't want to see. We don't want to see the Browns actually go 3-14 on the season again, like we saw last year. Like, this is like your last preseason game that you can honestly win, and it would be possibly a good thing to see the Browns win against the Rams. Like, you're going to see Shador play today. You're going to see Gabriel play today. I think when we look at it, we can say that this today's game, Joe Flacco will probably have a good game where he throws for 138 yards or above that, because Joe Flacco is a champion. Like, he played alongside Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. He's a champion, and he knows what it takes. Like, we saw him play in the Browns offense before. And I think, like, when we see Joe Flacco, when we see these guys, it's going to have to be like, okay, the Browns have to win this game because there is no turning back after this, and you're going to have to make cuts after this or trades after this. And it's going to be more of a current thing that going into last season, you didn't have Joe Flacco. You had a different Browns team. And we could all say that. We could all say that the Browns honestly needed to get more of a quarterback. They needed another quarterback. Like, you could have kept Jameis. You could have still brought in Joe Flacco. You could have still brought in Joe Flacco and still drafted Shador and Gabriel. And I think what is going to happen is that there is going to be, at the end of this, a big trade, and we're going to see that happen. We're definitely going to see a big trade happen, and much of the same going forward, because basically, I would say there is a 50% chance that with Joe Flacco starting against the Bengals and against the Rams today, you have to go in there and win a game. And that is what the Browns are basically going to try to do. They're going to try to win a game that honestly will put them back on top and put them in the win column. That is what you need to do, because when you have a 40-year-old quarterback that has much of a championship appearance and been to the Super Bowl, it's going to be looking like a tough game, because we already know what Joe Flacco can do in that Browns offense. We already know, because at the end of the day, when you look at it, you can say Joe Flacco is an amazing quarterback. Probably a Hall of Famer one day. But on the other side of things, you could also say, what about Joe Flacco's game, and what about how he played? I would say this: if Joe Flacco plays good today in his game, I think we're going to see that. We're going to see a trend where we see Joe Flacco probably win 14 games, but we also know that you got Deshaun Watson, you got Shador, you got Gabriel, you got Miles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome on that side of the football as well. But at the end of the day, I do think Joe Flacco will lead the Browns to a win. But guys, if you're new, and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. In peace.